welcome to another episode of Babes Go Video. How you doing today out there? Well, girls, here we are once again, filming a great show and having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already the end of January. I don't know where the time is gone. I feel like I'm just getting started on the new year. And, maybe if I had jumped on things.
Were you procrastinating?
Me? Never. I'm one of those night before gals. Like people at work will say, have you done blah, 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 blah yet? I go, when's it due? They'll say Wednesday. I go, that's what I'm doing Tuesday night. And it's not always just because I want to procrastinate. I have so much on my list that I'm just knocking them off one at a time, trying to make those deadlines.
Right.
But I do so much better if I have a deadline. Because if I don't have a deadline, then I kind of just string things along. Yeah. Well, I don't have to have this quite yet. Maybe I'll just...
Which is the danger of being retired.
But don't you think everybody procrastinates? I don't think there's anyone that doesn't. You just...
I don't know, some of those type A personalities, they get up from the first thing in the morning. They seem to be morning people. They just jump up and they're like, all right. And they just, you'll see them out at 8 a.m. washing their cars and walking their dogs.
I'm a type A personality when I don't put it off.
So when you're on, you're an A, and when you're off, you're...
Whatever.
But I'll tell you what I procrastinated. If you saw our last show, we had our glasses on, Babes 2020. Mm-hmm. They used to say Babes in Voiceland. Well, I was in charge of reprogramming them, and we really wanted to have them a couple shows ago, but I procrastinated, so...
I didn't get
now
it
they're
done.
ready.
So I like lists.
Uh-huh.
Lists keep me on task.
Right.
I have a planner, and my planner has my appointments and my tasks and my goals and all that other stuff. It helps me somewhat, but I'm trying this year to get on it. Get on it. Because if I see that it needs to be done and I slip into I can do that tomorrow. And then 8 years of tomorrows go by, literally 8 years of tomorrows go by, and things that I swore to God I was going to jump on as soon as I retired 8 years ago, I'll still open up a closet and go, eek, and it's not done yet. So
you know what? It happens. It happens. You can't, it just...
So don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better because I'm still working and I'm putting everything off until I retire. I've got boxes with baby stuff that I want to make baby books out of, and
but when
I probably
you
don't even remember any of it.
It is still going to be there. When you retire, it will still, and we'll be doing a show
and 8
10
years after
from
you
now,
retire,
and
it's
she'll
still going to
It's
be
still
there.
there. Well, you know what? Because things like that you have to do are really not fun. That's why.
That could be part of it.
You procrastinate. If something's fun, let's do it, okay?
That's
true. We are getting kind of hungry, and as soon as we're done filming this, we want to go out to eat, and it's going to be fun. So we're not going to put that off.
So this show is short.
It's because I'm really hungry.
My stomach is growling.
I just hit this. And I don't get hungry, I get hangry. So when I cross the threshold, it's not a good thing.
Threshold?
Not yet.
Well, my brain doesn't work as well either.
No, blood sugar drops.
Yeah, and I can't make decisions as well. And if I'm over hungry, and the family says, "Well, what do you want to eat?" I'm like, I just need to eat. Don't ask me what.
I need food.
I just need food. Yeah,
we do.
Absolutely.
And you know what I hate?
One.
What do you want to eat? You got 4 people in the room. I don't know.
You know what's really hard on me though? I'm a Starbucks junkie. I will admit it, and not even the fancy syrupy sweet drinks. I like an iced coffee, and not even with syrup in it. It's just an iced coffee with 1 raw sugar melted in it, splash of half and half. But my favorite Starbucks is like busier than it's ever been, and it's all the time. And on my way to the studio, because I didn't want to be late, I was going to dash in. There was no dashing. There was the line, the drive-through line was too long. There was no place for me to get a parking space. So I am not only hungry, I am not caffeinated. That is a really bad combination.
Yeah.
You know what? I only go to Starbucks when I go with you guys.
I know.
I know. You know why? Because the coffee is just too strong for me. I really don't drink coffee.
I love strong coffee. Stronger the better. I do like the French roast, or I do the Americana is what I do, because it's just coffee. It's an espresso with some water, and that's it.
Okay, but I got to tell you what, my friend Jamie, hi Jamie, my friend Jamie makes coffee that you can stand a knife in. Okay, and she lives in Seattle, so when I go see her, she makes this coffee that's just, oh my God, it wakes you up and keeps you awake for a really long time, and it's so bold and it's so delicious and it's so wonderful.
See?
So nothing compares to the coffee that Jamie makes. I just want to say that.
So it's the caffeine you love.
Yeah,
Well, but see, that's what the Pepsi does for me.
that's
Pepsi Max.
too much sugar.
Best Pepsi Max, 0 sugar.
I don't drink
Zero
things that are
sugar.
fake sugar.
But you know what I do like at Starbucks? I like that apple cider.
The hot apple
They
cider.
have a hot apple cider that is awesome. It's really good. If the coffee's too strong for you and you have to go to Starbucks with your friends,
You're forced. Oh, how terrible.
get the apple cider, the hot apple cider. I truly love it. I really do.
Now, back to what you were talking about, though, on how busy places are getting anymore because of the technology. Because it's not just
yeah.
the drive-through anymore. It's not just the walk-in anymore. It's people being able to order on their mobile apps,
Yep,
which is
that's true.
awesome if you're good and tech-savvy. And you can go in, you walk in, it's already there. It's great. You cut in front of all the lines outside, the lines inside.
But they're causing those lines.
Which is true. And the places have yet to really catch up on
Right.
how they're going to handle it.
Right.
They're not accounting for the 40 or 50 orders that they're getting on the mobile apps. The technology is there, but not everyone's using it correctly.
No.
They need like their own little station and their own little stand. And I think they need some help. They need to go to school and learn.
If you're listening to Terry, please incorporate that into your business model.
You know what? This is really funny because I'm listening to everything we're saying and my head is going off in all these different cowpath directions, because it's true with the technology. It's like, okay, back in the day when we had records and record players, all right?
Right.
When everything started going digital, technology, the record companies were really kind of caught off guard. Just like you're saying, they're doing all these mobile apps,
Right.
and they're not keeping up with
Right.
it. All technology is taking everything so fast that sometimes the companies are kind of caught off guard, and it's like, oh, wait, we're causing a problem here. We got to fix it. So
Right.
Like the whole
right.
music industry and the artists not getting paid royalties because
Exactly.
everything was then free on the internet, and trying to find new artists. They find them on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new way of looking at things,
Right.
which kind of causes problems, but at the same time opens some great doors.
But you know what? It's great for the consumer because all this stuff is free. Look, our show is free. It doesn't cost you anything to
that's true.
listen. You can just sit there in your PJs, which is another
Yeah.
subject. You can just sit there in your PJs and listen to our show. It costs you nothing.
Yeah.
But, somebody's got to pay for something somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's those pop-up ads that come up on your feed, like on your Facebook feed, or if you're playing a game on your phone while you're waiting at the doctor's office or waiting at line
Right.
at Starbucks.
Okay, but the
right?
whole-
See,
the whole
creators,
Facebook
the
feed?
artists, the writers are getting screwed.
The whole
That's
thing's
thing.
popping.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
We
You
have.
guys, everything that you hold, your phone, your smart TV, they're listening to you.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. I had a
Yeah.
conversation on the phone with my husband about the type of dog food I needed him to pick up. I sat down in front of my computer 2 minutes later and logged on to Facebook, and an ad for that exact iteration of that dog food got pushed to my news feed.
Except for my husband Grady, because he still has a flip phone.
But if he didn't,
Gotta love you, babe.
It's still there for him. I mean, they're still monitoring him. They're still watching and listening.
But
if he was looking.
But it's a flip phone. There's no internet. There's no
yeah.
talk and
What?
text.
What?
Talk and text.
Oh, all right.
And he doesn't even like the text. Flip phone.
Okay, I had to go back.
you know
I had
what?
to go back to what a flip phone was.
Do you know what? We went on an airline one time and they said, please turn on your phones. And he pulls out his phone and the flight attendant busts out laughing. She's like, I didn't even know they still
Well, he
made
doesn't
those.
like to text because on the old thing you had to hit, like, if you were the letter
AAA.
S was for whatever.
Yeah.
I could never.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
you know what?
That's
He
true.
loves his flip phone. He does not want to get rid of it. He's been retired since, March?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said to me, when I retire, I'll get a regular phone. But he doesn't want to. So, see, he doesn't get all those.
Good for
ads.
him. Now,
nice.
I actually came into the 21st century the other day, getting back to the music and the
Right.
different, because it was vinyl albums, and then it was
love
8-track
them.
tapes, and then it was cassettes, and then it was CDs, and then it was MP3s, and now it's streaming, okay?
Right.
So I had an iPod that I had borrowed my son's list and downloaded because he's got great taste in music, and I listened to the same songs for the last 8 years. And it got to the point where it was kind of like, I'm tired of having to remember to charge it up and all this other stuff. So I finally downloaded Pandora on my phone.
Oh, I
Okay.
love Pandora.
And I picked, I think, 4 different mixes.
Right.
And I turned it on yesterday when I was at the gym, and I got so into the groove that I ended up working out for almost an hour and a half and didn't even realize it. It was like,
Well, there you go.
It was great.
And listen, whatever music you like, that's what's the best. It doesn't matter.
No.
If it
Yeah.
makes you happy,
Yeah.
that's the best music. It doesn't matter. But oh, now I lost my train of thought.
What I was
gonna
going to say was that, but all this technology isn't bad. There are
No,
some really good
it's
things
wonderful.
to it. And YouTube, because Bethy, you're using it all the time
my
when you're
God.
learning things. The whole idea
am.
you're never too old to learn. And it's true, because you're constantly going online and learning how to do things.
You know what? That is the God's truth. And sometimes, you know, when you talk about procrastinating, I have something new I have to learn. I'm like, oh my God, I can never learn this. I can never learn this. But I have learned to go to YouTube and look for the tutorials and
Yep.
just, there's something I had to learn a couple weeks ago. I said, okay, I'm going to take today, I'm going to look for the tutorial, and I just watched tutorial after tutorial after tutorial. And all of a sudden, I realized I knew how to do it.
You're an expert.
Now, you couldn't have done that back in the day.
No.
No.
You had the World Book encyclopedias, or you had to go to the library.
That's
Right.
true.
You couldn't just pull out your phone and go.
Or you had to go to an owner's manual and
Yeah.
flip through it.
Yeah.
Harvey's been going on. My husband's 68 years old. He's got to fix something on my son's car that's electronic. Gizmo that makes the power windows go up, whatever it is. He finds the tutorial on YouTube, how to
Yep.
disassemble the panel on the interior of the car door, how to do this, how to do that.
Isn't
That's
that
what he's been
amazing?
doing now.
Oh, I know. And it's the
It's
best way to
amazing.
do it, because I'm a visual learner
Yep.
and I have to
Me
do
too.
it.
Me
so
too.
reading the manuals doesn't help me enough.
hate it.
It's got to have lots of pictures, and I like to actually watch somebody do it. And then you watch 2 or 3 different people do it, and then you're trying it with them, and it works out great. That's part of how I put my drawers together and my cabinets in my kitchen.
In the
that I had to-
never-ending kitchen remodeling
How's the
process.
kitchen going,
So
by
how
the
does
way?
that work?
Can we ask?
Remember, that's a subject we don't talk about anymore.
I'm sorry. We can't discuss that. That should give you a clue.
And that goes back to procrastination. Not Terry's, but some things just don't get done. But anyway, we digress. Is it time
And
for a
actually,
break?
it is. Yeah,
Oh my
speaking
God,
of
it is.
procrastination, it's time for a break.
Yeah.
We need to go get a word in from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Okay,
Yeah.
see you in a
Be right
minute.
back. Bob Allen Golf has a full tour shop for all of your repairs, including re-gripping, reshafting, loft and lie adjustments, whatever you need. Bob has the only full swing simulator in Las Vegas. Get your next set of golf clubs custom fit right here at Bob Allen Golf, located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. With Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
And we're back. Thank you for staying with us. So we've been nattering on about technology and, you know, how we really are trying to keep up with it because we're a little older.
The upper
Boomers,
curve.
don't you know? And it can be kind of scary because it feels like you can't keep up with it. And it makes you think about how much simpler things were when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
Encyclopedia Britannicas and all that stuff. And anyway, so when you think back on being a kid and you didn't have all of this, got to keep up, got to learn, what was the best part about being a kid? What was your favorite
Ooh.
part about being a kid?
That's an interesting question. Everybody out there, think about that for a second while we come up with an answer.
I already know what I want
All right,
to say.
go ahead.
For me, because we grew up in Michigan, Diana
Right,
and I did,
right.
and we have the seasons, and there was a lot of time that you were stuck in the house if it was too cold or snowy or raining. But as a kid, you didn't mind that.
No.
I loved being able to go outside.
Yeah.
I loved playing outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a TV gal. I loved TV. I loved the musicals and the old shows and the singing and dancing, and I would sing and dance with the shows because I do like movies.
Right.
Yeah.
But the chance to get outside
And play.
We used to play kick the can in the street. We'd get all the neighborhood kids and we'd play kick the can. And then everyone would scatter and you'd be running behind different people's houses and hiding. And the whole neighborhood played. And you got to stay out until the street lights came on.
Absolutely.
And when the
Yes.
street lights came on, you had to go home.
Time to go
Right.
home.
But it was just the being able to go outside. We had the beautiful lilac bushes in the backyard that smelled so wonderful in the spring. And in the winter, just going out and having snowball fights. And
We used to build snow forts. My
Yeah.
dad would build, we talked about
We've
this,
talked
ice
about
skating
this
rink in the
ice skating
backyard.
rinks.
Yep.
But and all of that was just connecting back to nature. You know, the birds that were out there or the different animals. So for me, it was being able to go outside and be able to touch things and feel things.
But you
catching
still-
snowflakes on my tongue.
Well, you
know.
can't catch snowflakes on your tongue in Vegas, but you can still go outside and do stuff. But what happens, we get older, we get jobs, we get busy, we get responsible, and we don't take the time.
Oh, but I will tell you what I took the time for.
And what was
But
that?
wait, before you say that,
Okay.
What?
Kick the Can.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see the episode Twilight Zone, Kick the Can?
There was a Twilight. Oh, no, probably not, or I would never have played
Guys,
again.
I just
Google
had
it.
to pause for a second.
Google it.
No,
Where's
no,
my
it's
phone?
great.
Tab.
No,
She
you would
opened
love
up a
it.
tab.
No, watch Kick the Can, the old Twilight Zone. It's my favorite episode. It's the only one I've saved. Anyway, go ahead. Just
So
had to
now I'm
throw
going to
that
tell
in.
you what I made the time for, because I like to be physically active. It clears your mind, it clears a lot of things, it's good for you and all that stuff. But we were out having a bite to eat a couple of weeks ago. We're in this restaurant, and while we're sitting there, this family comes in with a couple of little kids, and this little girl was skipping all the way through the restaurant.
It was cute.
And then they wrapped up their meal while we were still talking and planning shows. And as they were leaving, that little girl was skipping out of the restaurant. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so great to be a kid. Fast forward a few days, I'm at the grocery store doing my grown-up thing. And I come out of the grocery store, and what do you think I see? Another little girl holding onto her daddy's hand, and what is she doing? She's skipping through the parking lot. And I thought to myself, okay, this is a sign. So guess what I did?
You went skipping?
I was skipping.
You were skipping?
I skipped all the way through the parking lot to my car, and then I skipped from my car to the cart return and did that and skipped back. And
my
people are standing in the parking lot and they're laughing. I'm like, oh, come on, join
You know
me.
what?
It was fun.
Everybody
how
out there,
fun.
I was skipping.
go to the grocery
and I
store and
missed
skip.
it.
And we missed it.
Yeah.
All right, do it
We'll
on
have
the
to
way to the
skip-
restaurant.
We'll have to skip
Let's
to lunch
all
today.
I don't know
do
about
it.
these boots, but I'll try it. But it's great.
Let's all do it when we go
Be a
to
kid
lunch.
again.
They'll
Skip.
think we've already been
Don't
drinking.
skip school. Skip through the parking lot.
But you know what? It's funny because if you see a kid skipping, oh, little girl skipping. What are they going to look when they see three of us going to lunch skipping? They're going to think we've
And
already...
why do we stop skipping? Why?
And why do
Because
we
it's-
care what they think?
I thank you
But
very
it's
much.
funny.
We don't care what they think.
No.
All right, everybody
it is
out
funny.
there, skip to Malou.
Skip
Just
that?
a bit. Skip to Malou, my darling. And,
Be a kid again.
Skip into the office.
skip
Good for you.
somewhere
Yeah.
and get back to us on babesandvoiceland@gmail.com and let
How
us know
people
what
reacted.
happened when you went skipping
Oh
into
my God! Somebody
wherever.
got to send us video.
Oh, how fun.
Yes.
Send us video of you skipping, and we will put it in our Babes
Yes.
in Voiceland page and make you
That would
famous.
be
Oh
funny.
my God!
Come
We'll
on.
put it in one of
Funny.
the shows.
We could do that too.
I can do that too.
Yeah.
Send us a clip.
Listen, when you have your iPhone, don't hold it this way. Hold it this way.
She learned that on YouTube.
I learned that from Apple.
Okay, she learned that from
yeah.
Apple.
For
Hold
Apple
it this
classes.
way because it'll fit better in the film. So have somebody take a picture of you skipping, send to us. I promise we will put it in.
We'll
the
make
show.
you famous.
Yeah. Oh, how fun.
That'd be hysterical.
Well,
Do we still
Okay.
have shirts left?
we do have
yes.
shirts left.
You know what?
We do.
We had such good response. We ordered some more.
Yeah, we do have
so
more shirts.
Oh,
We can give
and-
away.
babesinvoiceland@gmail.com if you want a shirt, and then you can have somebody take film of you skipping wearing your Babes in Voiceland shirt. There you go. There's your challenge.
Lynn, that's Lynn's challenge.
yeah, Lynn,
Okay.
skip to my
Robbie
room.
Jean, skipping.
Skipping.
Take your grandson.
Go
Todd takes some skipping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now see,
Skipping.
we do stuff like that if we have kids with us. Like we go to see Frozen if we have little kids with us,
Yeah.
or we go to see kids movies, or we skip, or we play. We go sing. If we have kids, it's like, oh, here's our excuse to do that.
Be the kid.
Yeah, do
Be
it
the
without
kid.
the kid.
All right, that's
the
going to
kid.
be our new thing for this
Let
week.
your inner
Be the
child
kid.
come out.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, be the kid.
Be the kid.
This week.
Now wait a
Why
minute.
not?
I told about what I liked best about being a
Oh,
kid,
we got
but
off
I didn't
track.
hear for either one of you
Tell
two.
Kath.
I
Go
think
ahead.
we have enough time to hear something kind of
Me?
quick.
See, really, I had a great childhood and I loved so much that how can I pick one thing? But you know, reflecting back.
Oh, it's going to
I-
get deep.
No,
I got my boots on
think
though. I'm good.
what was the happiest thing when you're a kid, you think your problems are really big, but they're not. You know, for the most part, wouldn't you say?
Right? Okay.
And I think one of my favorite parts looking back is that everybody took care of everything. You know, you didn't have to go to a job and make money. You didn't have to cook dinner. You came in when the street lights came on
Yep.
and dinner was just about ready and you washed your hands and sat down at the table and ate.
Oh, that was never my life.
No?
I had to help make dinner. I had to help do
did.
laundry. I had to help watch
No,
my
I
little
didn't have
brothers
to do
and
any of that
sisters.
stuff.
So,
I didn't have any little brothers and sisters. I was the little one.
so you were the princess or the queen. So
Yeah, but you know what? It's like everybody had their own jobs in the house, but it just, there wasn't the responsibility that you
that's
get
true.
as an adult.
So adulting just isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Exactly.
Because you
So-
know, when you were a kid, you wanted to grow up, didn't you?
yes.
So that's what I'm going to say. All you little kids out there, when you say, I can't wait to grow up, wait, because it's a lot of work being an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, you can act like a kid, but
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
never
have
be a
fun.
kid again. So
well,
enjoy it. Enjoy it while you have it. That's what I say.
I liked, when I was a little kid, I loved the freedom to roam. I really did. We didn't have helicopter parenting, okay? It was
What
the...
do you mean?
true.
What's that?
You didn't. My parents didn't hover over us
Oh,
constantly
okay.
and monitor every single thing that we
Yeah,
did.
no, I
So
didn't
you
either.
went with your friends. You had to be home when the street lights came on.
Yeah.
But it was taking risks. It was exploring. It was. We had a cottage on a place called Harson's Island in Michigan, and we used to walk the canals and go fishing. Or we'd go in the woods behind the cottage and we would carve out a fort and we would get cattails in an old vase, and it was using your imagination and it was
Yeah.
being free to explore and to find out what your boundaries were, what your limits were, without somebody setting them for you
But-
artificially.
And that's awesome. But you know what? Nowadays, because unfortunately there's so many crazy people in the world, you can't let kids just take off and you don't know where they are. You
No, but
kinda
what we
can't
did
do
is
it
we were
anymore.
always in a group.
yeah.
Yeah.
There were a million kids on my block growing up.
Yeah.
We were always in a group. And the rule was, when you guys were finding your way home, then you would always have the person that lived closest to you be the second to the last person dropped off.
Yeah.
So there was always, and you always would stand, like if I was the second to the last person and my girlfriend Susie was next, I would
Yeah.
stand on my front porch and watch her get to her driveway to know
See,
she got
that
home
was
safe.
good.
And then I would go in. That was the only rule, but it was,
Yeah.
you were
was
told
it.
about strangers. You knew what to do if somebody approached you or whatever. But there was always safety in numbers,
Yeah.
Right.
and we played
And you know what? Wasn't that a beautiful time back then?
and we skipped
And we
a lot, and it was fun. And I'm going to skip. Well, we're skipping to the restaurant.
Skipping to
I'm
the restaurant.
hungry.
Where are we going to go? Oh, speaking of food,
uh-oh.
I have to say this before we close. Have you all seen the commercials of the Impossible Whopper?
Yes.
yeah, they're supposed to be
And it
taste just like
says
meat, but
it is made of plants.
right.
It is the Impossible Whopper. It's made of plants.
Okay.
Now, years ago, I used to be the burger queen. I'm not so much anymore, but in my 20s and 30s, I never met a burger I didn't like. McDonald's, Burger King. If Lynn's watching, she'll remember. You know, when we had
right.
an apartment, you'd wake up in the morning, where are we going to have lunch today? Is it Burger King, McDonald's, Jack in the Box? But actually, when I moved here is when I stopped eating all the fast food because, you know, you go to the buffet, it's almost cheaper.
We're back to the buffet.
Because it's good.
Get to the
and there's a-
burger.
Okay.
Yeah, what about this Impossible Burger?
Yeah, I took a cow path. Sorry about that. Okay,
It's
so
impossible to keep her on task today.
it is because we're hungry. So Grady says, you know what? I'd like to try one of those Impossible Whoppers. I thought, I'll try it. I will be fair. So,
The
I'm out
non-vegetable
one day.
Wendy. Yeah.
It's made of plants, so I'm not expecting too much, but I brought an Impossible Whopper home and cut it in half so we could try it. And I have to tell you, it's really not bad. It's not, no, it's not bad. I ate my half, but we're eating this burger, and Grady says, but you know what? Something's missing. I said, yes, meat.
No.
Yes, meat. So listen, if you're a burger lover, this is not the best burger you ever had, but it's not bad. If you like eating plants instead of meat, get the Impossible Whopper, but it is missing something, and that
have to
something
try it.
is meat. So there you go.
I've had a plant-based burger at Carl's Jr. It's their Beyond Burger.
Oh, they have one
missing
too?
meat.
No, this is great. My son was coming home from work. I texted him really fast and I said, hey, if you happen to feel like stopping by Carl's Jr.,
Was it good?
I want a famous star with cheese. It's my favorite hamburger. I don't eat burgers very often. He comes home and he says, this is several months ago when they just started putting that out.
We haven't talked about this. I didn't know this.
My mom, I got something for you. You're always wanting to try something new. You're always wanting to improve what you're eating, yada, yada, yada. So I got you the Beyond, or not the the Beyond,
Beyond Burger,
famous,
yeah.
that one. I'm like, oh man, Matt, what'd you do that for? I really wanted a hamburger, la 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 la.
Right?
Swear to God, you guys, I
Was it
took a
good?
bite out of that thing and I looked at my son and I said, if you hadn't told me
You wouldn't
that
know.
this
thought-
was a plant-based burger, I would have never known the difference.
See, now I
I'm
haven't
gonna have
tried
to try
Carl's
it.
Jr., but seriously, I'm saying the Impossible
So
Whopper, it's
good.
not bad. It's not bad at all. But
It's
it's
plant.
not.
But it's not meat. What
It's
do you
not
mean
meat.
you eat no
Listen.
meat? That's one of my favorite lines from my Big Fat Greek wedding.
I
What do you
know.
mean
What
you
do you
eat
mean
no
you
meat? That's okay, I'll make lamb.
Yeah.
Speaking of lamb,
And with that,
I'm starving.
We gotta go.
We're starving.
We gotta
We gotta
leave,
go.
you
We gotta
guys.
get
We
something to
love
eat.
hanging out with you, but we do.
I need caffeine.
are we having wine today or just food?
I don't know. Well, we can figure that out
But-
later. Let's say goodbye to
All
our
right.
friends that tuned in today. It's always great seeing you
I'm
guys.
just going to fall. I'm faint with hunger. I got to go.
Thanks for joining us.
I
Hey,
will see you soon.
send us an email, babesinvoiceland@gmail.com. Let us know if there's anybody out there that still needs a shirt, because we've got a few extras.
Yep.
And thanks for joining us.
See you
Have a
guys.
good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.